Welcome to Buckeyes Tomorrow Morning for Thursday, June 18th. I'm your host, Tom Moore. The Ball State game in 80 days, the game against Michigan in 164 days. We're sponsored today by our friends at Jeff Ruby's Columbus, proudly offering nationally acclaimed USDA prime steaks, seafood and sushi, impeccable service, live entertainment, and an attention to detail that is simply unmatched. Just go to jeffruby.com/Columbus to check out the menu and make a reservation today. Joined by Tony Gerdeman of Buckeye Insiders, literally inside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center today. The Ohio State 7-on-7 camp just kind of wrapping up outside right now, but we got a chance to talk to Brady Edmunds, the 2027 Ohio State quarterback commit, who was playing on Wednesday in the 7-on-7 event, was incredibly impressive. I guess before we get to Brady Edmunds, the recruitment and the drama and stories that are going to play out from that, let's real quickly talk about Brady Edmunds, the player, because when we got a chance to talk to him, he said he was not a big fan of 7-on-7, but man, he seems like 7-on-7 is just built for him to just light people on.
Yeah, and he's putting the ball in really tight spots. You could tell this is the first time some of the receivers, he was playing for the house team, it's a mishmash of players going against high school 7-on-7 teams. And so this, I think, was the first time some of his teammates had ever played with a quarterback like him, because the ball got to them very quickly. And sometimes they could not even get their hands around it. And so I'd say more than half of his completions were just drops, but really impressive. It became a joke at some point because he was dropping dimes, and the 3 or 4 of us standing around would never had the phone going, never had video going while it was happening. And he was really, really impressive. Good arm, strong arm, no issues there.
Yeah, sees the field well. And, 7-on-7 is not football. And that's something he said to us. He said that exact thing. 7-on-7 is not football. But, man, you watch him make these throws. It was, to me, a little bit of a reminder of everyone thinks, oh, maybe I'll go D1. No, you're not going to go D1. This is what a D1 player looks like, surrounded by a bunch of guys who are good high school football players. Not the same thing.
No, and he's 6 foot 230 probably. There's 6'5".
I was just saying.
Sorry.
I'm 6'2", and I was staring at his kind of nose. So he's probably every bit of 6'5".
He looks like a big prototype pocket passer, and that's the 7-on-7 is made for him. And I appreciate the fact that he said this is not real football, and because some quarterbacks would not necessarily say that. But boy, he was impressive, and that was only the second most impressive thing we got from him today.
Yeah, for sure. Because after he played one of his games, we got a chance to talk to him. And there was a group of 10 of us, 8 of us, something like that. It was a big group of media, because there are some questions around his recruitment right now. He has been committed to Ohio State for a year and a half, but there's some indications that maybe both parties are at least sort of re-examining that situation and what the future may hold, because he's a 2027, so he's got to sign in December. He doesn't have to, but he's going to sign in December one way or the other. So is that going to be at Ohio State, where he has a long relationship? He has long family ties. His grandfather's from Ohio and an Ohio State fan. This is a dream school kind of situation. And he's been committed to one of the longest commits in the class. But is Ohio State looking around and thinking about adding a different quarterback, adding another quarterback? He said he would be okay with that, but also he's got to kind of protect himself, and part of that was taking a recent visit to UCLA.
Yeah, talked about it. It is a business, and it has become more and more of a business. And if you don't operate like it's a business, you're going to be out of business, Tom. So this is something that he wants some questions answered from Ohio State. And if he gets that, then he believes he can remake his decision, re-solidify things. But he's got some significant questions that he wants answered so that he knows where he stands with them, whether it almost sounds like it doesn't even matter to him if another quarterback is coming in. He just wants to know, well, he didn't tell us everything that he wants to know, because you're not going to get necessarily all of that from a player. But if he gets the answers that he wants, then it sounds like things should be fine. But he did say he likes Bob Chesney.
Yeah. Well, and Bob Chesney, a new head coach at UCLA, he came from James Madison. Before that, he came from Holy Cross. Before that, he came from, I think, Salve Regina in Rhode Island. And what he said about Bob Chesney was, he just wins. And he does. He just wins. Everywhere he goes, he wins. He is one of those guys who, he's coming from the same program as Trent Cignetti, not nearly as old as Trent Cignetti, but sort of a similar career path where You started very low. I bet most people could not tell you the mascot of South Lake, Virginia. I don't know that I could tell you the mascot of South Lake, Virginia.
I will say Salukis.
Saints is a good guess. I don't know if that's right, but he is a lot like Kurt Signetti, where he has come up and just won everywhere he's been, and won at places where you haven't. They haven't won. You're not going in and well, congratulations, you won at Ohio State, or you won at Texas. Like, no, he's winning at places where they don't traditionally win. And he's young and he's exciting, and he's, as a quarterback, he would love to play for Ryan Day. Ryan Day is very much, Ryan Day is a little bit ahead of Bob Chesney and had a little bit of a different career path, but one of the most respected quarterback gurus among head coaches in the country. Chesney is, an offensive mind as well. So obviously there's a lot going on there, and a lot, he's going to end up playing college football very well wherever he ends up playing college football. But you sort of mentioned this earlier. What an impressive kid. Impressive player, yes. But man, this has got to be a difficult situation. And to come and stand in front of a bunch of 8 to 10 ding-dongs like us and just answer every question, and thoughtful answers, insightful answers, and I could not be more impressed with him as an individual.
Yeah, early on, because we're here at the 7-on-7 thing, and so we watch him play his first game. Then a few of us are like, "Are you going to talk today?" He's like, "I'll talk after pool play," and it's like, then we're just this is not going to be I would say from us, it would think, boy, this isn't going to be a fun thing for you, because these are going to be questions that have to be asked, have to be answered. And I asked him, "Is this stressful for you?" He's like, "No, I'm pretty laid back." He's a California kid. It's more stressful for his parents. And I understand that. And he knows that wherever he ends up, it's going to be a good place. It's going to set him up for the future. It sounds like he would like that to be Ohio State. But yeah, just really impressive. Answered everything. Was like, sometimes when you're trying to talk to a player, it's like, we'll do it right here, and you're going to get short answers. We're like, "Can we go inside? That way there's no noise, no wind." And he's like, "Yeah, we'll do wherever you guys want it. Is this good?" Shakes everybody's hands afterwards. Like, this is, he's worked hard to put together a recruiting class that I'm sure he'd like to play with. But yeah, really, really impressive after talking with him.
Yeah. And you get the sense, now he didn't say this explicitly, but you get the sense that by next week sometime, once the official's over, he's probably going to have a decent sense where his future lies. Either he's going to get the answers he's seeking at Ohio State, or he's not. And one way or the other, he talked about, he's had a lot of different schools reach out to him, but there's a lot of places where he doesn't necessarily feel like, he's a California kid. He doesn't necessarily want to go to a small town in the deep South. Like he wants, Columbus, major city. He's got some family ties here. He's a Southern California kid, UCLA, famously located as Deshaun Foster campus in Los Angeles. He's got really good options. He's got plenty of choice, and I'm sure he has lots of other options other than those two. But you sort of get the sense that coming out of this week, this weekend's visit, we should probably have a much better sense where things stand for him and where things stand for Ohio State at the quarterback position for the 2027 class on the whole.
Right. And he said he would like to make his decision, know his decision pretty quickly. That's, I guess, either way, either he gets the answers that he wants, or he doesn't. That still gives him the answers, that he's looking for. So then you move to the next step. If this, then this. And so he's going to get the first part of that this weekend on the visit.
So that's the latest on Brady Edmunds. Going to be really interesting to see how this weekend plays out, what that means for Ohio State's 2027 recruiting class, and especially the 2027 recruiting class at the quarterback position, because obviously the sort of the marquee position, the Cadillac position of the class, and some big questions there. We'll probably have some more answers there in the next couple of days. And we want to thank our friends at Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse, the award-winning upscale steakhouse in downtown Columbus, named one of the top 50 steakhouses in America by Food Network. Just go to jeffruby.com/Columbus to check out the menu and make a reservation today. That will do it for today. Thank you guys all for joining us. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.